Okay, so real quick, I made a layer where I copied just a section of our frog, this section right here, and with the clone stamp tool, I made this texture, and then I came back with my healing brush tool, and I just started kind of making sure there weren't any repeating patterns within the texture, and kind of made it where it was a good place to copy information so I could pull it into sections of my fish body. So you can see here that I kind of played with the fin and just using a healing brush tool to get some of this to blend in, and I actually want to add some of it here as well as down the body. So something cool about doing it this way is now I can hit Command or Control T or come up here to Edit Free Transform, and I can actually angle this to where you see this stripe that comes down the body, where it's going in that direction, which will make it a lot easier for me when I come in to start copying information from it. So I'm going to just set this right here, and I'm going to click OK on it and start playing with the healing brush tool. So I can actually come in and click up here with my holding down Option or Alt, click, make sure I'm on the correct layer, and I can start putting this information in. And you can see where that check is following the shape a little too close. I can let up on it and start again. A little too close still. Can kind of just start editing my selection and coming in and adding this area. It works really well doing this to add in some texture, so you can see it's bringing some of this texture in, but keep in mind you're going to have to edit this a lot. So it's something fun and it's an easy way to do this, but it's also something that is not finished. I think it's best when using it to stay within small areas and kind of play with it little by little. So that looks pretty good. And I can actually come in here and do the same up in this area of the fish. Make my brush really small so I can get in tight to some of these places. Like this would be fun, adding some of this frog texture. Kind of anywhere that's blue is the goal that I'm going with currently. So these are some design decisions that I've just made while playing with all of this. You can see where I'm at on my layer isn't a good place, so I can actually start again and click up here this time with the shape of this little curve. It might be easier, yeah, to come down this way. And so again, I'm hitting my left and right brackets to resize my brush, and I'm going back and forth, and just making it bigger and making my selections and trying to get this to where I'm pulling this texture, because the fish is super smooth while the frog has this rough, bumpy looking texture, kind of slimy looking, reptilian. So we're trying to bring both of those things together. So I think that that's actually adding a good element to our overall design so far. Bring it in here, fade it out a little so it doesn't have to be the whole area. Same with this area. Kind of color in. We're in a place again where I need to make my selection yet again, so I'm going to click down here. Kind of start adding some of this, just squiggle it in. And you can see that, oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong layer. You can see that whenever I do this, where I make sure I'm on the fish layer, and I kind of just color it in, squiggle it in, it's playing with the content. It's making it match. And you saw by the last one I just did a minute ago versus the one I'm doing now, how it's matching the colors. It's matching the tone, and it's trying to blend it together for you. So this is going to help us make these two animals look like they belong as one animal. So it's kind of fun just playing with all these different features. Maybe add some to some of these little dots. And keep in mind, this is all up to you. This is where the creativity comes in. You're creating a mutant animal and it can look however you want it to look. So I'm excited to see where y'all take this. And I'm hitting Command Z when I undo. Command Z is a hotkey that if you don't know it yet, you might want to learn it because it's the top hotkey I think that I actually even use. It's the most used hotkey by designers, I'm sure. Okay, so now we're going to start taking information up into this curve. I'm going to make it a little lighter. I want it to be, I'm thinking I want it to be actually a little bit softer, so whenever I come through here, it won't be quite as drastic. So we can actually see that this will make it start fading a little bit more. I'll try it up here too, see how that works. A little bit softer, same with here, because we don't want it to take away completely from the design. Diffuse it a little bit more so it's a little softer, even that away. Don't want to take away from those fins. Put in little details here too. Oh, I didn't like that one. Hit Command Z, Control Z if you're a PC user. Start coming in here, trying not to make it yellow. If I get too far into the area that's yellow, the content aware will automatically try and blend the yellow in, and I really just want this part to be blue. It's a personal choice that I'm making, a design choice that I'm making. Come up here to this area, and keep in mind I'm clicking, letting up, watching it, hitting Command Z, Control Z, going through all these areas. I think that looks pretty good. Hitting my small and big brackets to resize my brush. Since these are such small areas, it's not really necessary to go through and do the selection process. I think that looks fun. Okay, and then finally we have this area down here, kind of start adding in. I don't know if it's super necessary to get a whole lot of detail in this part, but I think that I want to try to blend it up into the tail. So I'm going to just try and get it on this bottom edge. Oop, too far. Get it on the bottom edge, and then I'll come back with the healing brush, spot healing brush tool in a minute. Okay, so that's a pretty good start. Let's move this layer out of the way. Oop. Move this layer out of the way so we can look at the fins below it. Get a selection of it again, maybe in this area. Go back to my fish layer. And like the bottom fin, I think I'm just gonna kind of choose a few little sections that will have this texture kind of on the outer edge, maybe. Kind of cool. Good start. And I don't know where I want it to go. Now, okay, now that I have the information kind of scattered around and I've blended it in a good amount to start with, I think I'm going to start now coming in with my spot healing brush and really start looking at these areas. See how patchy that looked? Now if I come in with my spot healing brush, I'm going to turn sample layers off. If I come in with my spot healing brush and actually play with like proximity match, maybe. And screen mode, play with the blending mode a bit. I'm gonna see if it'll help blend these pixels in a bit more. You can see what I'm doing and how I'm playing with the settings to see what is the best for trying to get these to blend better together. Try and get this to where it looks like it's natural, not done by computer. So you can see some of these areas are harder than others. I'm going to try content aware on this area. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Content aware screen is good because it's actually like an overlay, kind of like a overhead transparency laying on top of our photo. So it's trying to make it blend for more reasons than just content aware. It's also trying to blend it as a screen blending mode. So, and that's what's the mode right here, screen. So that's helping that. This might be the best way for this texture to blend in since there's so many blues. Try and make it look like it was natural, less like I just cropped little areas and glued them together. Come in with my brush, make it bigger, just kind of hit these areas, see what happens. Brought in some orange because it's content aware and that's what was nearby. We're not wanting the orange though right here because it doesn't make sense there. Try and avoid it. So you can see the direction I'm going in with this. Next video, I promise, we will actually learn how to bring the orange from the fish into the frog. I just wanted to go a little deeper into bringing this texture into our fish's body. So far we have started pulling information from here into here. Now we're going to pull this information over into here. So let's see what we can do.